Hi, everybody. Welcome so much. I'm so happy and excited to have everybody here or if you're watching the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are very excited for this opportunity to be able to have the chance to go through in a deep and very rich way what the Magdalene Moonrise service has been about. This is our 15th year. And we used to do a 6-station ritual, and we would have this as a opportunity for people to have a deep dive in an experiential way, walking each station, being able to have an opportunity to be anointed, to have the Last Supper communion in the Gnostic version, to be able to go up to the cross and pull the nails out of the cross, to stop crucifying, to go into a deep level of forgiveness work, to go into the inner temple and receive a anointing of the heart, and then to enter in through the gates of heaven, because it's supposed to be heaven on earth, not heaven in the heavens. So I'm thrilled today. Each day is going to be different. And today we have to begin with the goddess. So I am so thrilled to have two of my devoted friends who are deeply involved in the goddess worship. Anasuya Isaac, we'll call her Hallelujah Anasuya. Thank you, Anasuya,
Hello,
for
hello. Welcome
joining us.
everybody to the 7-day Divine
Yes.
Feminine Summit.
And Anasuya is a true ambassador. And she was with us on the first day when we were doing our wailing wall, a divine feminine wailing wall. And the reason that we did that was that we were so alarmed about some of the things that are happening in our society now, that are stripping away women's rights, humanitarian rights, things like this. And so we felt very much like we needed to wail before these beautiful paintings. So you should have received the video of that. And Anasuya helped lead that with me. So thank you very much, my dear, for doing that with me. And to start off this summit from the point of view of the goddess. Actually, before I just say that, I want to just say that why we do the Magdalene Moonrise Easter celebration every year is actually to fulfill the prophecy. There's two places in the Bible, Matthew 26:13 and Mark 14, verse 9. And basically, what it says is that she will be remembered and discussed for what she has done. So it says, I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her. Oh, that wherever the gospel is preached, which is there's a lot of fundamentalists out there preaching the gospel, they are not remembering and discussing what she has done. And so we are really divine feminine, wanting to bring the balance and the harmony back out. And we are thrilled to have today to open because it all began with the goddess, right? And one of my favorite songs was written by Sophia Songhealer, who's with us today. Thank you, Sophia. We're so happy you're here with us. And Donny and Heather and Donny are going to sing the song on this beautiful Keepers of the Garden. So I want to just introduce you to Heather and Donny. Heather and Donny are visionary mystics and clergy of the Temple of Isis as co-creators of the Black Swan Temple on Maui, a fabulous place, by the way, to go. And they have been doing this for almost as long as I've been doing the Magdalene Moonrise, and they lead pilgrimages to Egypt. They're incredible musicians. So go to the blackswantemple.org website to learn all about what they are doing. And thank you guys for joining us. I love the work that you do. I love how dedicated you both are to this passion of bringing forth and keeping alive these ancient wisdoms. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chrissy. It's an honor for us to be here with you all today on this powerful full moon in Libra. And we are going to get pink moon, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And we're going to do a great meditation. So we're just going to get ourselves set up. And as we do, maybe Sophia wants to give a little background about this song. And you were sent up to the angels, and they sent you back with. I love that.
Well, I mean, we got to hear it.
Yeah, I just had to go put a little lipstick on so I could show up here. This actually was written by Buddy Comfort, and I added different parts to it. So we co-wrote this piece, and it's a really anthem for here we are here, it's us, we're the ones we've been waiting for. It's like, oh, hello. And all I can say is I'm so glad you let play this. And Donny, I'm so looking forward to playing with you over here in Tiburon in June. That'll be so exciting. So
you have to let me know about that.
Yeah, take it away. Yeah, Lori's doing something there. So I'm glad to be part of this group.
Thank you.
Magdalene, And Christy, I honor you for all the work you're doing, putting these things together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I honor you as well, because you're a legend in the world of the incredible music that you have produced over the years, and the way it's been such a healing force. So thank you so much, Sophia. So glad you're with us.
Many blessings. Many more blessings.
All right.
Let's all just take a moment and a breath. And arrive and take a moment to connect our hearts with each other. This beautiful full moon in Libra, which governs the energies of the heart, is so perfect to bless this gathering with.
We are here. We are here. Keepers of the garden. We are here. We are here. We are here. Keepers of the garden. We are here. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Keepers of the garden, we are here. 'Cause we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Keepers of the garden, we are here. Where if not here? And when if not now? And who if not you and me? Where if not here? And when if not now? And who if not you? Keepers of the vision, we are here. Keepers of the faith, we all are here. Keepers of the new earth destiny, we are here. Keepers of the I know, we are here. Keepers of the aloha, we are here. Keepers of the children, we all are here. Keepers of our brothers and sisters, we are here. Keepers of the peace, we all are here. Oh, we are here. We are here. Keepers of the garden, we are here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And Heather's going to share some wisdom about the return of the Dark Mother and this special full moon.
Christy for no, there's Christy.
Yay, we made it all the way through.
We did.
Yay!
Hopefully you don't get bounced out again.
Yeah. So, Christy, did you want me to share about a little bit about this full moon, or?
Yes, what's special about this full moon, and also just your passion and experience in returning the Dark Mother, Mother Gaia, Black Madonna back into our culture and our times, and why it's so critical.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this full moon is super special and powerful. And we call it the pink full moon because as things start to bud and blossom, it starts, everything usually starts pink and connected with the divine feminine as well. We have also today Venus, which has been retrograde for quite some time, like 40 days, is stationing direct. So I love that Venus is also associated with Mary Magdalene and the divine feminine, and it is having us look at how things that we value, our sense of self-worth, and the way we want to live, and beauty in our relationships, and is also related to, in the Egyptian tradition, Ma'at, right? The scales of justice and bringing things back into balance. So the balance and beauty, and I love how Mary Magdalene, they found the scrolls just like 100 miles north of the Valley of the Kings. And every time we take people to Egypt, we take them to the special shrine where the artisans have been created this whole scene. The only place I've found in Egypt where it's still perfectly intact is the whole scene with the weighing of the heart. And also with Mary Magdalene, what did she say? She says the path of the heart. This is the path of Venus, the path of love. And the Ma'at has the 42 laws of Ma'at, which the priestesses of the Temple of Isis back in 1996, Lady Lorian took a pilgrimage with like 9 priestesses, and they created the laws of Ma'at into affirmations, into positive virtues. So Ma'at and her feather, okay, the feather of Ma'at, you'll see her everywhere with the feather. And this is a symbol of purification, the feather. And even on the hieroglyphs when Isis and her sister Nephthys were resurrecting Osiris, what are they holding? Feathers, 2 feathers. So this whole time of resurrection and Mary Magdalene and the path of the rose is very, mean, when do you think where do you think she got some of this inspiration? She was in Egypt. The scrolls were found in Egypt, just north of Luxor, by these temples. So they used the feather of Ma'at. The feather was, so once you passed, before you could go into the Valley of the Reeds, into paradise, you were asked, have you these 42 laws? And have you been living a pure life? And so I feel that this time of this full moon is very auspicious with this alignment of Venus stationing retrograde, and it's like, okay, we've done a lot of cleansing, we've done a lot of healing, and we've looked at things that are out of balance, and where now it's time to move forward into our true becoming, true blossoming. And it is time. And we're going to take you through a meditation a little bit later to connect even more deeply with these energies. So just a very auspicious time, and of course it's Passover, so connecting with these 7 sacred days, and thinking about the Egyptian, and also the Dark Mother and Mother Mary, and the purification practices that bring us to a state of deep inner peace and wellness and balance. I mean, we're always going to have challenges, but we need to balance out how we deal with our challenges and still find the joy, find the love, so we can have that balance. Yeah, there's lots of things to fight about and be upset about, but we need to find the balance. You need to tend to yourself and do that self-care, so we can be in a state of balance, which is in a state of love, in a state of beauty, in a state of peace. That's a little sharing.
I'm
Something
sorry.
moving into Pisces.
Yeah, we've been in a lot of Piscean energy, and Pisces, it's a sign of the fish and the Christ consciousness, and dreams, using our higher level skills, senses, and abilities, tuning into our dream time, activating our brow chakra, aligning with the divine energies.
But astrologically, there's not something going on now into Pisces.
There's a lot of energy still in Pisces, and we're just moved from Pisces.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
I'm a
so
Pisces. I just put a little word in for Pisces here.
definitely, it's all kind of weaving all together.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you have an awesome partnership. So you are so fortunate. We always include the sacred masculine, and Donny, you are the pinnacle sacred masculine.
Got the divine masculine going on, girl.
You have supported me from
he's
day one.
Would have thought, right?
He's a Libra, so yeah, we look at that. We're each other's mirrors, right? This is how we learn and grow, by noticing what we reflect to each other, and what we're reflecting.
Donny, why are you not threatened by the divine feminine? You seem to embrace it. You seem to no worries. You just bring her on and wrap your arms around her and embrace the divine feminine. So I'd love for you to embolden and share, so that men can feel like, oh, this is good.
I would say this to start with: teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
And it's so important to really empower, inspire, and utilize the divine feminine to be a part of it, because if men didn't have women in their life, they'd be still living in caves. I mean, women bring so much beauty and reflection to humans, so that they are a vital part of this thing we call planet Earth, and thing we call relationships as well. The divine masculine, has had its power, and it's been going through its heyday for quite a few thousand years, and yet it obviously hasn't managed the planet very well. It needs the divine feminine, and it's the balance between the divine feminine and masculine. I think if we looked back in history, we would find it at times men have been in charge, women have been in charge, but they really need each other. And when they have each other to balance that energy between the light and the dark, between, strength and compassion, between, all the different nuances of life itself, from where we really gain our strength, and we gain our strength by the love frequency. So, men need the divine feminine. They absolutely need it. And they can think that they're great and solo on their own, but the reality is without the divine feminine, they're just really an empty shell, and it's almost like a toxic masculinity. We need each other, and as Heather was talking about the different energies of the world, and some of the what people could label as dark energies, we need to be putting love out there, not blame, shame, criticism, critique, all that stuff that is so ripe and rampant on the internet. It's really us living in harmony with each other and sharing with each other and giving to each other, being part of each other's solution and each other's inspiration, and not saying that I'm in charge or you're right and you're wrong. We're all there's no wrong. I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
And yet we have to find our way of perceiving it and enhancing it and giving to it. And it's that balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine that really brings the world to this heaven on earth. Without each other, we're screwed. I mean, it's just not a good thing. So as we collaborate with each other, as we honor each other, as we respect each other, magic happens. I can go on and on and on, but there's
I know, and I love listening to you, because you not only speak truth to power, you, as Kathleen McGowan would say, you actually embody it in your day-to-day life. I've seen you, how you operate. I see how supportive you are. And I've seen all the gorgeous stuff that has happened to your own home when Heather came and you guys got married, and everything is transformed it and up-leveled the. So it's been fabulous. And I'm just, you both are such a great model and demonstration, which is what Magdalene was. She was the model and the demonstration of an awakened, enlightened woman. And the balance between her and Yeshua is what we really need now as we move forward, not just rising the patriarchy up here and there's the divine feminine is just barely a blip on the radar screen. No, you bring her up and you come together as equals, and then you can experience that oneness. So
exactly.
Anyway, that's what this summit is all about. It's raising that vibration, bringing in how does the divine feminine express herself through the music, through the art, through all the incredible ways that the divine feminine adds her wisdom, her intuition, her art, her music, her dance. So we will be doing that. And so thank you so much, you guys. We're going to go next to a wonderful goddess woman who has helped throughout the ages with me. I think she's been with me since day one, Andrea Lauren, who is a true priestess. She is a mindfulness teacher and has done so much beautiful work cultivating this deep, resonant field of love. And she has a wonderful book out called The Well-Nourished Life. And so you can go and read more about her. She's a coach and she does all kinds of incredible things in her offerings and workshops and trainings and whatnot to help people come into a more heartfelt mindfulness place. And you will see from her energy when she shares, she is an emanation of peace itself. And so I would love to have you listen to what she has to say, because the goddess, the Easter began with the goddess, and she's put together a wonderful talk for us about that. She is celebrating Passover with her family, and so she's going to be, she sent me a recording so that she can be enjoying her Passover with her family. Well,
Thank you, Christy. I'm so happy to be here today, joining you in this beautiful Mary Magdalene Moonrise Summit, hosted by Christy Michaels, visioned by Christy Michaels, and the wonderful team of women, priestesses, artists, performers, healers, leaders that have participated in these beautiful events and teachings over this many years. So I'm Andrea, so happy to be here and to share with you a little about the origins of the name Easter and the Easter goddess. As we are understanding through research, through linguistic clues, through ancient inscriptions, through traditions that have whispers of traditions that have barely survived over thousands of years, inscriptions in pottery, we have been able to piece together that the world was filled, the pre-Christian Judaic world was filled and alive with the world of gods and goddesses. And particularly, we find many more statues and representations of the goddess. The goddess has been connected to the earth, to Gaia herself, the earth as a sacred feminine manifestation of life and creativity. In no time during the year can we feel the magic of creation, of beauty, of divinity, of sacredness as the springtime. Spring is so alive with beauty, flowers, blooming, beautiful smells of blossoms, new life everywhere. Birds, if you're able to listen in the dawn and during the day, at dusk, to the sounds. Depending upon where you live, you might need to go out into a park, or you can listen between all the man-made sounds of a city. But there's sounds of the birds. There are so many birds. It's not just the mama and the papa birds, but all the little baby birds being born. So I'm going to share with you some beautiful images of this ancient heritage of the Easter goddess. Spring is so filled with gorgeousness. However we conceptualize the divine, it's easy to feel the sacredness of this world, of the divine, of God, whatever we name that sense of something greater than ourselves, smiling back at ourselves through flowers and really the miraculous display, all the variety of flowers that we see in the springtime, the elements, the sun, the sprinkle of rain, spring showers. And here's a beautiful image of the Easter goddess. If we look up the word Easter in the Webster's Dictionary, we will find that it is an Anglo-Saxon origination from the name of an old Teutonic goddess of the spring The spring equinox was her celebration. And she had many different names, the people in old Europe. We can find different inscriptions, writings, the mention of many different linguistically related names. Linguistics is a very powerful way to trace connections. Modern technology. So Austrin, then the root word Aust, A-U-S-T, Austrin, was a prehistoric goddess of the dawn of the Germanic peoples. And there's many different versions of this name that we also connect to Easter. The goddess is part of an ancient tradition. I'm just going to show you a few images that go back further. This is around 25,000 years ago. And this is a goddess found carved in a French cave. And she's holding what looks like, could be a ram's horn, it could be a crescent moon with the marks of the month, 13 marks in it. 13 moons. Here is a very famous image of a Cretan snake goddess around 1600 AD. And some scholars connect this image, this goddess, with Astarte, goddess of fertility. In the Middle East, we have many goddesses of fertility with similar roots of names. We have Asherah or Ashtoreth, Astarte, Ishtar. Some scholars have connected the name Ishtar, the Babylonian version of this goddess of fertility, with the name Astara, which is a Germanic root of the Easter goddess, of Eostre, which is the Anglo-Saxon root, and Easter, which this beautiful holiday that happens right around spring is comes from. Now, more recently, some scholars say there's no relationship linguistically, even though they sound really similar, right? Ishtar, Ostara, Easter, that they're two very different systems. But as we're learning, as archaeology, the field of archaeology continues, there was a lot more cross-pollination and connections between ancient peoples than we used to think. A lot more long-distance travel and different artifacts, archaeological pieces showing up in vast, diverse geographical locations. So it's possible that there's some connection here. The goddess Easter, here's an image of her flying in the sky. This is from the 1800s. And she was, again, worshipped, celebrated around the time of the spring equinox. And she represents sunrise, springtime, the renewal of life. And we find many names of Easter. We find Ostar, Ostara, Ostern, Ostra, Istra. Actually, don't know the actual pronunciations, but you can see here so many different versions. There were some inscriptions discovered in 1958, a series of, actually from the 2nd century CE, referring to the mother goddess Austriahene. So this root, As, A-U-S-T, with connected names, many different connected names to the goddess venerated on the European continent. And we find a very ancient connection to the Proto-Indo-European goddess named Ausis, goddess of the dawn. So the roots, the linguistic roots of Easter, Stara, all these different versions relate to light, light and shining dawn. Certainly spring is a time of the light returning fully, of dawn, of new beginnings. And here's an Indian goddess named Usha, goddess of the dawn. Same roots, similar roots. Eos, another goddess of the dawn. Similar name, similar roots. So the name Easter didn't just come arbitrarily. At some point, this spring holiday was named Easter. And in 325 AD, the Nicaean Council decreed that Easter should be celebrated on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox. And we know that this was right around the time that there were many celebrations of the goddess of spring. And they were still happening. We have the May Day festival too. That's just a little later, but a spring festival that goes way back. But in the year 399 AD, the Theodosian Code banned the observance of the traditional spring festivals associated with the fertility goddesses at that time. It is so fitting that we bring back Easter through the eyes of Mary Magdalene, the sacred feminine, the wise one, the wise seeing, because this is such a celebration of the feminine principle of beauty, of renewal, of light, of kindness. The earth is showing such kindness at this time. So we celebrate spring. We celebrate the observance of Easter through the eyes of Mary Magdalene, through the sacred feminine. And we celebrate the rising up of the strength and the light and the love and the compassion and the fierce compassion that is needed now at this time of the feminine, of the sacred feminine. So happy to be here on this opening day of this really important summit, meant to inspire us, to uplift us, to help us learn more that this deep, beautiful, sacred feminine lineage goes way back, thousands and thousands of years. And this is just a taste, just a glimpse of this beautiful tradition of the sacred feminine and meeting Mary Magdalene. And we will be learning and experiencing beautiful songs and just the outpouring of creativity of the sacred feminine and the wisdom that can uplift us and strengthen us at these times, these contemporary times, through these next days of the summit. Thank you so much, Christy. Again, so happy to be here. And please enjoy the rest of the summit. I'm Andrea Lieberstein. I have a novel that will be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. And I have a closing chant. Some of you may know, you may hum along or chant it yourself. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Let your light shine. Let your light always shine. May it touch all of those around you. Let your heart shine. Let your heart shine. May it touch and uplift all around you.
Thank you so much, Andrea. You know, it's really interesting. I think Andrea's on here. I don't know if you want to come on camera or not. I know you're at a family Passover and you're all cooking and getting ready for Passover that's going to be happening. But I just want to say, Andrea and I were in a writing group. So I'm thrilled to hear your novel is coming forward because I got to sit and listen every week in the writing group her share her magical and mystical stories about bringing the goddess alive. And she's really helping to keep it alive because as you soften this artwork, it's like, why would we let it go? For what purpose? It's only endearing our kindness, our sense of nurturing and honoring of Mother Gaia and the world. So anyway, thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate what you have done and the work that you have done to keep the goddess alive in all of our hearts. And speaking of keeping the goddess alive in all of our hearts, I wanted to tell you about the two women, Kathleen Jones and Erin Burkett, who helped to sponsor this event. They had invited Anasuya and I to attend and present at a conference called Resurrecting the Goddess. And this conference was significantly important to me because it was put on by two women who were very much I'm just trying to find it here. If I hold on here, see. Stop share.
It was on the screen.
It was on the screen.
Yeah,
okay.
It was there. But it's important that you see that.
There we go. Anyway, what they were doing with this particular event was rewilding Christianity with the divine feminine. Kathleen Jones is a former Catholic high school teacher. And she had an encounter with the goddess and she opened her heart to what the goddess was all about and connecting to the earth and being more inclusive of all of these religions and whatnot, that the pagan religions that honor Mother Earth. And so she wanted to bring the divine feminine back into the church. So she became a priestess. Even though she's still Catholic, she declared it to be so. Because, of course, Pope Francis was trying to help elevate, he at least got a proclamation to acknowledge Magdalene as the apostle to the apostles. But there has been so much. This is the two of them. So if you go to her website, resurrectingthegoddess.com, you'll learn all about their work. And they're gathering women from all over to come in, and they will be doing another one in July. So you can sign up on their website, resurrectingthegoddess.com, and you can get the information and learn more about who and what they are doing. But they are also really amazing musicians. So I wanted to honor them by playing one of the songs that they sing. And it's so fitting. It's a song called Since the Beginning that was written by Olivia Fern, but they performed it live. So I'm going to play that now to honor them, because they filled this song with all the images of the goddess.
The beginning, it's been calling you to remember who you are. Can you hear the song that has been calling you home since the beginning? It's been calling you to remember who you are. It's been calling you to remember who you are. Can you feel the drum of an ancient heart song? It is beating within you, within you. Can you feel the drum of an ancient heart song? It is beating within you, within you. It's been calling you to remember who you are. Can you hear the song that has been calling you home since the beginning? It's been calling you to remember who you are. Can you hear the song that has been calling you home since the beginning? It's been calling you to remember who you are. It's been calling you to remember who you are.
Thank you so much. You can see, wouldn't you have, I don't know how many of you ever went to Catholic high school, but I would love to have a high school teacher like these two women. When we talk about the goddess, there is one woman, one priestess who has become probably more so than any other woman that I've met, started a global movement called the Thousand Goddess. And she had been told a prophecy that when 1,000 goddesses gather, the world will know peace. And so she took it upon herself, Priestess Mare Cromwell, and launched the Thousand Goddess Summit. And she found me on Facebook and she invited me to Washington, D.C., where I went and gathered with some of our priestess friends. And we did this whole ceremony on raising the vibration and the frequency. And I never knew that the obelisk that's on the Washington Monument Mall actually comes out of Vesica Pisces. So that was pretty interesting. So of course I had to have Mare Cromwell come on because she has written so many wonderful books, award-winning books, and she has also been so instrumental in helping to bring forth the messages of the Divine Mother. It is said that she actually does have a direct communication with the Divine Mother and through channeling and whatnot. So this is her webpage, thegreatmotherslove.earth, and you can learn more about her and the work that she's doing, which has been amazing work to help bring the new earth and what we as many women act as medicine women. And she helps to elevate the Virgin Mary, Mother Mary, Christ consciousness, the white buffalo woman. I mean, it's a wonderful culminations of different cultures and voices that she brings to it. So I'm going to have her give us a little message because she unfortunately was not able to be here with us. So she wanted to do a channeling of a message from Mother Earth.
Hi, my name is Mare Cromwell, and I am a Gaia mystic and high priestess. And Christy asked me to do a message, to download a message from Mother Gaia for the Mary Magdalene Moonrise ceremony on Easter. And so here it is. My beloved, beloved children, my beloved human children, know how much I love you. Know how much I am holding you and yearning for you to connect with me, to my heart. My love can help you heal. My love can help you hold steady in these very intense times that you are going through. These times are needed, as painful as they are, for you humans. This is a time of great shifting, time of great changes, a time of the crumbling of what has not served me for a very long time. I want you to know that the trees are reaching out to support you. Go to them, ask for their love, ask for their strength, ground with them to my heart. They are all grounded to my heart. They have tremendous healing energy. Know that the nature spirits are for you, are there for you. They're offering their love and support too. Know that outside of the human realms, where there's so much drama, trauma, intensity, there are beautiful, beautiful things happening on me, around me, within me. There are energies pouring into our sacred earth from all sorts of places around the universe, around the omnicosmos. Great beings are supporting this shifting, this transition, this awakening into a whole new earth. Touch into these energies as best as you can. They're there for you to call on. Ask them to come into your energy field, hold you. The trees, the trees are getting new codes. The waters are getting new codes. Everything and everyone is receiving an activation. Higher and higher frequencies of energies are circling the planet. And I am celebrating this because this is the time. This is the time for me to become crystalline, for you to shift into your crystalline bodies more and more and more. The trees and the nature spirits and the waters are already doing that. So I'm calling for you, every single one of you, to connect with me, your great mother. Learn to love yourselves at a whole other level. You are divine. You are beautiful beings, beautiful divine beings. I am holding every single one of you in my love. Connect with me, come home to me, and find the courage within you to make the changes, to heal yourself, to change the way you live. Humanity is being asked to change radically right now and fast. And this is rocky. I know it is for you. But you are all being held by so much love. My love. All these beautiful divine beings are loving you. The trees are loving you, the nature spirits. So please take in my love. I am here for you. Oh. And that is her message for this beautiful ceremony on Easter. So much love, hugs and big love to every single one of you.
The reason why I asked her, even though some people may not believe that she actually can channel Mother Earth and that Mother Earth is an embodied feminine spirit, that energetic frequency makes up our planet, you may not believe that or not. The message is still so relevant. It's still so important. And that is that what is our planet about? It's about feeding us. It's about nurturing us, giving us the air to breathe and the water to drink and the food to eat. But what are we doing? We are poisoning it. We are destroying it. We are digging it up. We are not good stewards of it. And, that's why I open with the song Keepers of the Garden, because we do have to speak up about this. That if we don't want a polluted world, we need to speak up about it. We have to ask for a consciousness and a collective that embraces this sense of well-being that our planet is here to nourish it. And we only have one planet, so I don't get why anyone thinks they're not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of the planet if they destroy the planet. It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, I appreciate, Mare. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing that with me, and to take us out into helping us to embody this. I've asked Heather and Donny to come back on and lead us in a full embodied meditation in the beautiful way that they do. So I love your meditations that you do. So I wanted you to help us to everybody can just relax and enjoy and take in what their wisdom is through their meditation and music. Thank you.
Did you find us, Christy?
Yes, you're on.
Okay, great. Oh, okay, wonderful. So I just invite everyone we're going to take you through a little 10-minute or so meditation. And I love that we're following Mare, because we always open our meditation with an attunement to the elements and the sacred directions.
In the east, where the sun rises with promise, we call upon the element of air. May clarity and inspiration guide our ways as we journey forth on the paths of growth and learning.
In the south, where the flames dance with passion, we call upon the element of fire. May courage and strength ignite our spirits as we embrace transformation and vitality.
In the west, where the flames dance with passion, we call upon the element of water. And may intuition and healing cleanse our souls today as we navigate the depths of emotion and renewal.
In the north, where the earth stands firm and stable, we call upon the element of earth. May grounding and abundance support our endeavors as we build our foundations with wisdom and stability.
Above us, where the sky stretches boundlessly, we call upon the element of spirit. May guidance and connection illuminate our paths as we commune with the divine and the higher realms.
Below us, where the roots intertwine with the earth, we call upon the spirit of the earth. May strength and stability anchor our being as we honor the ancestors and depths of our existence.
Within us, where the essence of all elements reside, we call upon the spirit of within. May balance and harmony fill our hearts today as we unite with the sacred energies of the universe.
And we call in the energies of this beautiful, auspicious full moon, and Ma'at, Mary Magdalene, and Venus, to help guide our way as we navigate our way and find peace and balance within. With gratitude and reverence, we call upon these sacred directions. May their wisdom and guidance bless our intentions. With that, the directions are called.
The circle is cast,
and we are now in sacred space. Take a few soft, slow breaths. Allow your awareness to gently drop into your body, feeling the earth below you,
solid, nurturing, and steady. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let go. With each breath, feel yourself as a silvery inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding empty for 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold out, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold out for 2, 3, 4. One more round. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And hold out for 2, 3, 4. Very good. And just let that all go and soften into a feather light breath. Natural and effortless. Feel your breath like a breeze across your skin, your chest, and your heart. With each inhale, invite truth. With each exhale, release distortion. Inhaling, inviting truth. And exhale, releasing distortion. Breathe like this until your heart feels soft and ready. Now imagine you were walking a moonlit path. The earth is soft beneath your feet. And you come to a clearing, surrounded by ancient trees. And at the center of this clearing stands a tall, glowing mirror. A mirror ornate and golden, crowned with feathers. This is the mirror of your soul. As you gaze into it, you see yourself, not just your face, but your journey. You see many expressions. Your wounds, your longing, and your light. You are safe to witness it all. And from the shadows now of the trees, a graceful figure steps forward. She wears white robes, and a single feather rests in her crown.
This is Ma'at, the goddess of truth and cosmic justice. She looks into your eyes and places her feather of truth on the scales of your heart. She asks, what are you carrying that is no longer yours? What needs to be released so your heart may rise, feather light? You pause and listen. You don't need to force an answer. Simply feel. Ma'at continues. Peace is not the absence of challenge, but the presence of balance. What will you choose to release so you may return to truth? Let the mirror reflect your soul. It's not broken, but as becoming. Now a soft rose light begins to swirl around your heart as Venus steps into the circle, radiant and serene. She anoints your heart with love and whispers, you are love itself. You do not need to earn it. You are made of it. And then Chiron, the wounded healer, places his hand on your shoulder and says, your pain has shaped your wisdom. Let it soften now. Let it become your offering to the world. Let their grace and warmth dissolve all heaviness. As you feel the feather lift, your heart is becoming lighter, and your truth is becoming clearer. You step through the mirror now and find yourself in a golden temple. This is your inner sanctuary. And you stand tall, luminous, sovereign. Above your head, a crown of light appears. Not given by another, but remembered by your soul. You place your hands on your heart and speak aloud or within. I walk the featherlight path. I choose balance. I live in truth. I am love. Feel your spine. Feel your presence return.
the earth beneath you, the air around you, and your body resting in this sacred space. Bring your hands to your heart, perhaps, and whisper, "My heart is light. My truth is clear. I walk in harmony with all life." And so it is. And as
So grateful to them. Yay, you're back.
What a beautiful meditation. It was
It just
lovely.
froze right at the very end when you were doing the last chimes. But you can share with us your website and what your journeys you're going on. And thank you so much, guys. I love you. I love what you do. I love the richness and the depth of your dedication.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
All right, we're just updating our website. So, yeah, so our temple, this is us, the Black Swan Temple. Our work is really rooted in the ancient Egyptian mystery schools, just as in the ancient Egyptian temples, they used to do sound healing, energy healing, working with aromatherapy and dreams. We do all of that as well. And we're ordained clergy of the Temple of Isis, and I'm also ordained minister of the Church of the Essenes. And we're going back to Egypt in October. We do monthly rituals and small group retreats here in Maui.
Moon temples.
Yeah, so you can check us out. We have all kinds of great things happening. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Keep on raising that vibration. And I love.
Sophia.
Sophia's muted.
Oh,
Sophia, you need to unmute.
you hear me?
Lots of pineapples.
Yes,
We have lots
a
of pineapples.
More.
Yes, Sophia is very needed right now. There's a high level of Sophia wisdom missing
And Sophia's here.
in the governing entities. So yeah, definitely we need to reclaim and call forth and summon all forms of wisdom, as well as all forms of the divine feminine. All of them embody wisdom. So yeah. Whew.
Blessed be. Okay.
So good to see you, Sophia.
Yeah, I'm glad to be seen. I have to put a little lipstick on. It makes a difference. Okay, sweethearts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And yes, so we have all that happening, and we have a moon temple that's happening and starting in about 30 minutes. So we're going to have to hop off too. We have people arriving at our house, at our temple. So thank you so much.
I wanted to mention that we are going to be heading out to Egypt in October, of which a place in Cairo where Jesus and Mary were hiding out from, they're hiding out because they were trying to kill Jesus. It's a beautiful adventure for those of you who ever have had Egypt on your bucket list. It is truly a phenomenon. We could do a private entrance into the King's Chamber, private meditation, sound healing in the sarcophagus, which is one of the highlights of my experience in Egypt, because that sarcophagus is the exact proportions of the Ark of the Covenant, fits perfectly inside of it. And they've discovered all this stuff underneath the pyramids recently, that the new Cairo museum is opening up for the first time. It's supposed to open up in July. We've been waiting years for this, and all the stuff that was underneath the old museum in Cairo is now being put out. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a magical journey if you have that on your bucket list of places have to go tos. It is how would I say this, Rule? It is an initiation and an opening of the deepest levels of your soul. I mean, we even have one of our guests is coming back because he says it changed his life so profoundly. He needs to come plug in, and he's kind of a normal guy. He's an architect and stuff, but it's just an amazing story. So we thank all of you. We send blessings to Christy, of course, for holding the energies of Mary Magdalene, the divine goddess that she is, and Christy, the divine goddess that she is, and all of you who paid attention and showed up for this now or in the future online. We honor the digital realms for at least making this work as best it could. The fact that we can gather around the world and still see each other and talk to each other is a miracle in itself. So I want to give all divine recognition to the ethereal beings that put the ones and zeros together that make this all work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mahalo nui loa from Maui. We love you, we appreciate you, and I wish you were here with us.
Yeah, and if anyone ever is going to Maui, you need to think about going and participating in their temple. And they have a wonderful retreat that they offer people that is very nourishing, with Hawaiian food and locally grown. And they're just down the street from Haleakua Gardens, which is one of the top organic farms on Maui. So run by Lori Grace. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful full moon service.
Yes,
Thank you so
indeed.
much.
Blessings to all of you. Happy full moon, Libra.
All right.
And me being a rabbit, I totally appreciate Easter. I'm part of the bunny family. So
You
There
certainly
you
are.
go. There you go.
Thank you.
aloha.
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 So what we wanted to do is, as we come to the end, and I don't know if any of you that are remaining with us, we had over 60 people register for this event. So I guess they're all seeing the replays. Enjoy the replay. But for those that are remaining, if you want to turn on your camera, Anasui and I love to have a deeper conversation, because the rhyme and reason about why we do what we do and why we're so passionate is having to do with these times that we're in, where we see the unraveling of women's rights, we see the stripping away of humanitarian efforts, and it becomes so important for our voices to be raised, for us to keep the conversation going, to keep reminding people that who we are as a body of people is we are love itself, and we are supposed to be sharing and extending love and creating. It's not heaven in the heavens, it's heaven on earth. And so, Anasuya has been so richly dedicated to this work, and I've been supporting her, and she's been supporting me. So we wanted to take a little bit. So if you want to hop on, just take off your video, and I'll have you join. If not, I'm going to turn it over to Anasuya.
No.
Well, we can hear you loud and clear. So
Of course, I got a fabulous Mercury. Oh, thank you for this. It's been absolutely phenomenal, as I expected it would be.
yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and staying the whole time. And we would love to see your face, but we understand technology. Yes, it was a beautiful presentation today by our sisters and our brother Danny. Yes, so Donny. So we were very blessed today. So is there anything in particular you'd like to talk about, explore today, Christy, as we wrap up?
You have been a fierce mama bear when it comes to preserving and bringing forth that which has been here forever. So I think you need to share from your heart about how you came to appreciate and know, because you were raised Baptist, right? They're not like, they're all about the Black Madonna, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying with you.
Absolutely not. Sadly.
So somehow she tapped you on the shoulder and she said, "Come here, I need you."
Yeah, well, the Baptists follow the beliefs of John the Baptist, which is how we got our name. And Black Baptists can be quite literal interpreters of the Word of God, as they call it, the Bible, and also by following that word of the Bible can be quite misogynist, and therefore there's very little emphasis or focus on the women of the Bible, the women disciples, the women's contributions, even the feminine aspect of the Holy Spirit. There's very little to none focus on that. We do hear about Mother Mary at Christmas and a little at Easter. We do hear about Mary Magdalene at Easter. But that's all I ever remember hearing about women. Women's roles in the gospel, women's roles in the formation of the church. I never heard any of that. So to my knowledge, God had no feminine face. God had no feminine form. And as a child, this struck me as very bizarre. I don't know why it struck me as bizarre, because I never had any conversation in the home or anywhere else that would say, hey, have you ever wondered about or why this is missing? No, I never had that in my environment. So the fact that my 5-6-year-old self kept wondering, when I looked at church and looked at the stained glass windows and when I heard the preacher speak, I never saw anything feminine. I saw Father God, Son God, Bird God, me and the dove, representing the Holy Spirit. And I kept staring at the stained glass window and saying, this something is very odd here. And when I asked about it, I was told to shh, because I was asking about it in church like children do, don't necessarily ask things at the right time. But I kept saying, something's missing. And of course, no one knew what I was talking about. I guess after weeks or months, who knows how long, my little 5-year-old brain was trying to work that out. The Holy Spirit revealed herself to me as Mother God, the one they left out, the one they turned, the creators of the church, the creator of the books in the Bible that are there versus all that was taken out. Those people intentionally changed the sex of the Holy Spirit of Sophia from feminine, as it is Aramaic, which is the language that Jesus spoke, and all the disciples, and in Hebrew, it's feminine. But when it went to Greek, it went to Latin. It went to Greek and became neutral. And then in Latin, they turned it masculine. And Latin was under the Romans, which were speaking Latin. So under the Romans, the divine feminine, Mother God, the Holy Spirit, was turned to male. And then somewhere along the line, it became a bird, the dove. So she's always been telling me who she really is. And I understood it as best as a 6-year-old could. But it gave me so much comfort to know that there was a Mother God and that she was there. And every time I looked at the stained glass window, I didn't see the bird anymore. I saw Mother, and I kept trying to imagine what she looked like, because everything else was anthropomorphic. So why not the dove? And so that was the beginning of my journey with the divine feminine. And there's many other instances, but Shelley has her hand up. So come on, Shelley.
Oh, thank you. I love that, Anasuya. I was quite unchurched and had a similar experience when I did go to church, and I was about 7. My mother asked me, because the Lutheran minister and his wife lived across the street, and wondered why my mother's heathen children weren't going to church. So we were invited, and my mother didn't go because of her own wounding around church, but she really wanted me to go. So I went. And I went to the Sunday school for the kids, and I'm an old soul and didn't fit in. And so I said, can I go to the grown-ups? And she said, yeah, just go, please, so that Mrs. Minister leaves me alone. So I went, and the sermon was on original sin.
Oh.
And there was something in my soul that said, this is not a truth. And And I went with a friend to her Presbyterian church. And other than that, very, very little. And I had forgotten about that until I was an adult, that had happened. And I'm collecting some of my own remembrances as they come into my consciousness as an adult on how she arrived with me. And the most profound one was in the 1980s as an adult mother of two children in an abusive relationship. And I decided to be atheist along with my current husband of that time, who was a very wounded man. And that lasted very briefly. And because I just believe in source. I have a Pisces moon, I can't not. And I heard a feminine voice say, "Come back, daughter."
Mm.
And that was it for me. So since the 80s, I've been on that path. And I love being on it with you all.
Thank you so much for joining us, Shelley. And
That's beautiful.
I know it is more and more of a share and keep remembering and telling the stories. That's why I'm so committed. And this week that we're doing tomorrow is Palm Sunday, so we're not doing anything on Palm Sunday, but on Monday we start the 6 station ritual. So the first day is going to be an anointing. And so many people have had questions for me over the years. And so I felt like to have the spaciousness of being able to break down each day and really go into what is it that she did, because you see her, Magdalene is rising. People are becoming assessed. More and more people are channeling her, and it's alongside with the Black Madonna as well. And that's what happened for my story as well, which I'll be sharing later in the week. So each day we'll have the time to not only dive into what is this all about? Why was the anointing so significant? Why was Da Vinci painting the Last Supper and putting her at the table next to it? What was that all about? And it's basically unveiling and removing these layers of suppression that have happened over the years, that have actually are now getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't know these stories. So I've collected scholars, and we're going to close today with two dancers that have been dancing. Every time I do a sacred celebration, we always have the dances. So when I realized I was going to need to do this Easter week thing online in a summit version, I thought I'm going to have a dance every day. I'm going to have dancers dancing, singers singing, all about these ideas and concepts, because it enriches our experience. The senses get activated, and so it's really. And then to have impassioned women like Anasuya, who speak so much from the heart. I love you very much, my dear, and I'm so grateful to your dedication and your passion, which you bring to the table. In considering that you come from a Baptist background, that transformation of like disengaging yourself from the rigidity of that dogma, and not shaming or blaming or pointing the finger at them, but actually just stepping into a more expanded expression. You want to share a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, I was blessed that I was not forced to go to church, and I wasn't forced to believe in the doctrine. I wasn't forced to be a believer, in the sense that if I don't, I'm going to hell. If I don't, I'm a sinner. If I don't, I'll be punished. I didn't get that kind of dogmatic upbringing where they scare you into obedience and scare you into your faith. I never had that. And I'm very grateful that my mother never did that to us. And so we were spared a lot of the verbal violence that so many of my peers experience, with purity consciousness and all kinds of ways of being that a girl should be and boy should be, and all these things I never learned. So it was less to erase in that regard, and I'm very blessed that I didn't have so much to erase. So then when the divine feminine started calling me, I didn't really see it as something different or something so blasphemous. Because I didn't know enough about traditional Baptist teachings to know that anything that says women are honorable, women are divine, women are gorgeous, contradicts with original sin, and all of the fault being on Eve. So because of Eve's doing, all women are guilty, all women are sinful, all women are Jezebels and sources of trouble, and you can't trust them. I'm very grateful that I didn't grow up with that, to have that be unwashed from my mind. So when the divine feminine started showing up, it just felt like the pieces of the puzzle that were always supposed to be there were returning. And it's like, yeah, this is what's missing. Yeah, this is what I wish they were teaching me from the pulpit. This is the message that I long to hear, about the women who did great things, the women who uplifted, the women who followed Jesus. And there were many, many, many women disciples. As a matter of fact, the 12 disciples plus Jesus could not have done anything without the women. Mm-hmm. The women not only were there and cleaned and cooked and did the sewing and repaired their sandals because they were walking all the places, but the women actually had the money. They came with their own money. They were independently wealthy, or they couldn't have been there, because if they were not independently wealthy, they would have been dependent on husbands. They would have been dependent on fathers and had no freedom to speak or move. But these women had their own money, either through their industry, through the work that they did, or from inheritances from their fathers, or from what they inherited from their husbands who died. And so it was the women who made Jesus' ability to take the disciples all over the place, because they paid for the hotels, they paid for the food, they paid for everything.
It says it right there in Luke.
And some books, the women are named, and most of the books, the Gospels, they don't name the women. They just say the women. But there were over 60 of them, and I would have loved to have been taught that. Yeah. That they were essential to the movement, and most importantly, is that these women, because they were seen as women and less than, and not to be taken seriously or listened to, they were the ones who kept the message of Jesus alive when the disciples were martyred. You don't think about that.
Right.
The disciples were murdered very quickly after Jesus was. And only Timothy and another disciple survived longer because they went to another country. Timothy went to India, and I can't forget where the other one, can't remember where the other one went. But that's the only reason they lived and died a natural death. But the rest of them were killed quite quickly. So who was teaching the teachings of Jesus if all the disciples were gone?
Yeah.
It was those over 60 women who kept the teachings alive to the point of multiplying themselves. And they went from women to women to women to women to keep the message alive. They went to women who were doing laundry. They went to women who were cooking. They helped them cook while they told the stories. They helped the women do the laundry while they told the stories. They helped the women take care of their children while they told the stories and teachings of Jesus. And it was the women who gave it to their husbands.
Right.
It was the women who taught their husbands, and the church was forming. And that's really important to know, because every book that we read that we think is gospel and was written at the time the disciples were alive, were not. Most of them were written in the 4th and 5th century, which means it was the women who kept the stories alive for 300 years.
Exactly. And I'm curious about because you're a world traveler, and you were raised in a Baptist upbringing, and then you go to travel through Europe and you go to these Black Madonna sites. What was that like for you to actually go to places where you got to see her in where her miracles were happening and whatnot? How did that impact you to be there?
Well, that's such a good one. I didn't even know, by being Black, sorry, not by being Black, probably, but by being Baptist, which is Protestant denomination, we didn't know anything about Catholic practices or Catholic belief systems or Catholic ways or Catholic saints, except for St. Francis. We learned about St. Francis. So I didn't know anything about Black Madonnas because I didn't know anything about Madonna and Child per se, and as a Catholic symbol. We weren't taught about Mary, Mother of Jesus, in the way the Catholics are. So it was to my astonishment that not only in Christianity did the divine feminine live and exist to a better degree than Protestants, because they had their own misogyny in Catholicism, but she was worshiped, she was honored, and she was more than just someone who appeared at Christmas and Easter. 365 days of the year, her contributions, her gifts, her messages were honored. And I was so surprised to learn that, because many of the countries I went to in the beginning in my travels in Europe were Catholic, or at least were started off as Catholic. And so I was so amazed that I didn't see any Protestant churches, and that amazed me. And that amazed me to see how much the divine feminine was being honored. But to find Black ones knocked me over with a feather. I just was flabbergasted, because I was never taught anything about the pre-Christian existence of God as a woman and God as a mother and God as creatrix that exists way before any of the organized religions that we have today. Thousands and thousands of years before the Abrahamic tradition showed up, God was a mother, and she was dark, and she, in some places, pitch black, depending on the soil, and she was the creatrix. And that was the gateway. Finding Mary was the gateway to knowing there was a Mary before Mary. There was a mother before mother. There was a goddess before goddess.
Yeah.
And she was Mother God. And she's the beginning of us all.
Yeah.
And it's been a beautiful pilgrimage to keep going back in time and keep retracing the roots and keep retracing it all the way back. And we have a as above, so below. We have an earthly representation of that, which is mitochondrial Eve, which is the first woman who happens to be an African woman, a Black woman, who gave birth to Homo sapiens that we have become. So whether you understand it as the earth creatrix mother, who was the first form of God, or you go to the mitochondrial Eve, who's the first mother of Homo sapiens, it's the same. The dark mother gave birth to us all.
Yes, thank you so much. I every time I've heard you tell various aspects of the stories, but it gets richer and more expansive every time I hear you talk about it and share it. And it's such a big, big missing piece, because when you speak about it, you just light up. You start smiling, you get happy, it's like so healing to see that. And why would we deny that to any little Black girl who's sitting in the church looking at the bird and wondering, wait a minute, how do you get a son from a father and a bird,
But you know what? It is a very powerful truth to be told to little Black and brown girls. It is. But the gift of the Black Madonna, the mother and child, the gift of the dark mother, is that we all have her.
Yeah.
She's not the mother of one. She's not the mother of Black children. She's the mother of all children, just like mitochondrial Eve is the mother of all races, which of course she doesn't see them as races. She sees them as her children. So she is the powerful energy that we all are. When you talk about the dark mother, you're talking about the woman who is fierce in battle, who is fierce protector. You're talking about the one who can slay all demons. You're talking about the fierce mother whose love is powerful. Who doesn't want that as their mother? You're talking about, when you're talking about the dark mother, you're talking about the nurturing one, the healing one, the one that can save you from all illnesses. You're talking about the one that resurrects from the dead. You are talking about the one who heals your unbelief and your disempowering beliefs. Who doesn't want that for their mother? She is the source of unconditional love. She is the source of everything.
Yeah, thank you so
And
much.
she is the dark mother, because we come out of a dark womb. We come out of the dark ocean. All life comes out of the dark ocean, the dark earth, the dark cosmos, the dark womb. So it is natural that she's dark, not about race.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anastasia. I love you so much, and I really appreciate you joining with me and sharing this powerful message. And I also just want to thank Heather and Salmon and Donny Regal Kathleen Joan and the Spiral Muse, Andrea Lieberstein and Mare Cromwell and Sophia Songhealer, and the list goes on to Hallelujah, Anasuya. And Carol, and we're going to end right now with Carolina Michelson and her and the woman who got me started on this whole journey with the Magdalene, which is Elizabeth Kelly of the Holy Order of Mary Magdalene.
And before you bring them on with their gorgeous dance, let us take the moment to thank you for holding on and being the voice and the ambassador and the warrioress for Mary Magdalene. You have done, over the years, you've done so much to keep Mary Magdalene's name in people's consciousness and people's hearts, and most importantly, in their mouths. And you have done so much to bring the community together to honor her in so many ways, Christy. So thank you for yet again making sure that all those who are ready to know the truth can know the truth.
Here, here, forehead to the ground bow. Thank you, Christy.
That's right, forehead to the ground.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Well, you're in for a real treat because I had asked Carolina. Carolina is a top-notch opera singer, incredible priestess who is, does composing, choreographing, opera, cabarets, you name it. She's performed as a soloist and done so much beautiful work in her ventures. And she is joined with Elizabeth Kelly, who is a priestess of Mary Magdalene. And Elizabeth is someone who I have, Andrea and I were in this writing group, and Andrea was writing her novel about the goddess, and I was writing a funny story of humor. And so I heard Elizabeth talk about her apparition, the apparition of Mary Magdalene appearing to her. And I was just on. Now she's going to tell that story on the Magdalene Moonrise Easter celebration that happens on Sunday, Easter evening.
Yeah, she tells it well.
You'll want to come for sure and listen to that because it's such a powerful story. We've had so many apparitions of Mother Mary, but not so much people have heard apparitions of Mary Magdalene. And when Magdalene appeared to Elizabeth, she said, "I'm going to be rising. Is she not rising?" And she said, "Would you agent my message?" Well, what is her message? Her message is one of equality. The masculine and the divine feminine are equal. And so I've asked Elizabeth to help us with the sharing. So I asked them to create a dance, which is called the Awakening the Sleeping Lady.
L'aube descend comme une couverture d'étoiles. Je nous suis.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And you see that crow go flying across the screen. That was
Hmm.
spontaneous. That was amazing. So thank you, everybody, for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, Sunday. Actually, tomorrow is
Son.
I'm going to
On
be
Sunday.
live streaming through the Soul Search soulsearch.io is going to have their psychic fair, and they've asked me to come and speak. So I'll be speaking, and it will be live streamed on Dr. Joe Dispenza, Meet Mary Magdalene, because he has assumed that he's discovered all this stuff about how to transform people and bring them into their health. And what I learned was actually when he said, the first thing I did was this, I went, wait a minute. That's what Mary Magdalene says, the first thing that happened in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, written hundreds and hundreds of years before. So I put them together, and I will be explaining how she mastered that.
What's the name of that site again, please?
It's a Soul Search, SEARCH, soulsearch.io. And they will be live. I'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So you're going to be at the fair in it's in Santa Rosa, right?
The fair is going to be in Roanoke Park.
Oh, right.
And so I will be speaking there. And tonight after this, I'm going to go and jump on the Global Peace Tribe, globalpeacetribe.com for the program that Scott Katamas is doing, and we'll be announcing more details about that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anasuya. Blessings.
Blessings. The moon rises, you all, in about 15 minutes if you're interested.
Oh, I'm going to go out and see her.
Pacific time. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Appreciate
it. See you, Shelley.
Bye-bye.